Welcome to the Art of Procurement, the official podcast of the Catalyst Co-community. And our purpose is to enhance the impact of procurement by elevating the discussion one conversation at a time. Here at Art of Procurement, Catalysts come together every single week to share their challenges, ideas, successes and perspectives on the business of procurement. Hi there, I'm Philip Eitzen, and thank you for tuning in to the Art of Procurement today. If you're a regular listener, you'll know that we typically publish an interview every Monday. But this month, we're celebrating Take Action October. So for October only, we're publishing a 5-minute daily micropod to help you take action to elevate the influence and the impact of both yourself and your team. If you're joining us midway through this series, listen to episode 204. That will give you more details on Take Action October and the daily 5-minute podcast. I also explain the concept of a vehicle in that episode, which in my experience is the single most important factor that determines your ability to translate learnings into action. In today's Take Action podcast, I'm going to share a clip from my conversation with Rory Sutherland. So Rory is Vice Chairman of Ogilvy UK. He's a frequent TED talker, he's an author, and he's one of the world's leading experts on behavioural economics. And in this clip, Rory shares why the best business decision is not always the decision that is taken.
In business decision making, there are very, very strong psychological biases towards blame avoidance. Mm-hmm. And of course, the most famous business-to-business advertising slogan of all time, no one ever got fired for buying IBM.
Right.
Okay. So there's a very interesting thing which happens, and I'm sympathetic with you guys on this one, okay, which is it's very, very difficult for someone to make an eccentric decision in business because the degree of blame that in the event that your decision goes wrong, it's a bit like that famous Super Bowl play, which was the Seahawks against the Patriots, okay, right? Actually, Annie Duke, who's a poker player, says that statistically, probabilistically, that was a good decision. The problem was that because it went wrong, and she said the odds of it going wrong were only about 3 or 4%, I think. Because it went wrong, it's always viewed as a terrible decision, and the man's viewed as an idiot for making it. But what's interesting is that what biases business decision-making is often not, is this the best decision, but what are the reputational consequences if this decision goes wrong? Mm-hmm. Now, we have a client in British Airways, and one of the things that baffles us is there's a very, very good service that runs from London City Airport to JFK. Yeah. Now, London City Airport's closer to central London, much closer to the banking quarter than Heathrow is. It's one plane, I think it's a 757. It's business class only. It's really, really difficult to get people to fly from a different airport other than Heathrow. And this is nothing to do with, I think, end consumer preference. What it is that if you're a PA, if you're an intermediary, and this is effectively the agency problem, if you're the PA or you're the travel agent, you know that if you book someone on a flight, on British Airways flight from Heathrow to JFK, okay, if anything goes wrong, they'll blame British Airways because you haven't really made a decision. You've just gone with the default, okay? The second you do something slightly imaginative, now that might be Heathrow to Newark, for example, or London City to JFK, or Gatwick to JFK. That might be better for the passenger. The passenger may live 10 minutes from Gatwick and an hour from Heathrow, for example. It might be better for the person, but if anything goes wrong, they'll now blame you.
Hi there, it's Phil here again. So, like much of my interview with Rory, it led to as many questions as answers in the way that really makes you think about how we approach procurement, some of the approaches that we take, and some of the unintended consequences of decisions that we take on our stakeholders. And I know when I had stakeholders take a decision that seemed like it wasn't the most obvious choice, perhaps they gave up savings or they just stayed with a poorly performing incumbent supplier, I would wonder, what are they thinking? Well, what Rory outlined is probably what they were thinking. So today is less about a specific action, but more to prepare you for that next decision that you're trying to influence. How can you minimize the reputational consequences for the person that you're seeking to influence if the decision that they take, that you're recommending, doesn't actually go as planned? Thanks for joining me for this special Take Action October podcast from the Art of Procurement. You can check out today's question by going to artofprocurement.com/takeaction2018. If the idea of taking small actions on a regular basis is something that resonates with you, I'd love for you to check out the details of our Procurement Capability Development Program, the Catalysco platform. The Catalysco platform translates dots into lines. So taking individual pieces of learning, insight, validation, and inspiration, connecting them to coordinated strategies and actions, that's really important, that elevate your influence and your impact. The Catalysco platform helps procurement professionals all around the world become truly trusted advisors. So if that's something that you would like to check out, visit artofprocurement.com/TCP. That's artofprocurement.com/TCP. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another Take Action October daily podcast.